Welcome to The Ripple Within, a podcast by All in One Life Coaching. I'm Michelle, a certified life coach specializing in mindset, emotional wellness, and the law of attraction. I work with people to help create the narrative around their desired outcome.
And I'm Kathy. I'm here to ask the questions, explore the patterns, and share the real life moments that make this all, well, make sense.
This podcast is about the connection between how we feel and the physical reality we experience every day. We'll explore how our thoughts lead to outcomes and how narrative shifts can create big change.
We'll keep it grounded using logic and lived experience, not just theory. And if you've ever wondered why you feel stuck, reactive, or out of sync with yourself, you're not alone.
Our life experience will always match how we feel. This podcast is about exploring our ripple within, how our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and values contribute to the physical life we live. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everyone. All right, Kathy, what have you got for us today?
Well, today we're going to start with you,
Me?
because
Oh, man.
congratulations on your first book. And we're so excited. So, we're going to talk a little bit about your book. One of the things I really love about it is the real life examples that you
Mhm.
provide in your book, and you can get it on Amazon. Oh, shameless plug. There we go. It's called The Satisfaction Line, and it's navigating all of this stuff that we're going to talk about. So let's talk a little bit about the book, and then we'll move on to today's topic. But inspirationally, what made you decide now that it's time to let's throw a book out there?
It's interesting because I've been writing my entire life, so for as long as I can remember. And in the last 8 years, as you know, when I truly discovered being able to live like this and finding a way to be able to maybe express it and explain it a little bit differently than what may be understood about what law of attraction is from a completely different new perspective, I felt that I had this platform, and certainly with your contributions over the years as well, and taking part in this with me, that I would be able to help maybe understand the dynamics around that language we use and those words that we say and hear, and how that affects us in real life, and being able to use real life examples of that narrative that we use within ourselves, and then how that structures the next thing that we do. So it was certainly felt like the right time. It was 8 years of writing through blogs, and that's where the majority of this came together, was taking that and putting it into a book format, and certainly having a platform to be able to do that, being able to distribute it through Amazon, which makes it really easy for certainly for new authors. It's one of hopefully several or many, and it's funny because I don't even have my copy here with me. So I love that you have have a copy to be able to display. So I appreciate you very much for that.
It's super exciting, and I'm so proud of you. And the next time I
Thank you.
physically see you, which next couple of weeks, I'm gonna make you sign it, because when you're freaking superstar, it's I mean it's worth a lot now, but it's gonna be worth a lot more. It and it segues right into what I I want us to talk about today, with everything that's been going on in the world, and even
Mhm.
being part of and living by, trying to live by law of attraction and happiness and well-being, that segues into why I don't watch the news much anymore. I mean, I check in, so I don't want to be oblivious. I don't want to live in
Sure.
my own little bubble. But it also makes me feel very sad and very frustrated, uh,
Hmm.
in things that you watch, and what seems like unfairness in the world. And I mean, come on, just some real stupid decisions that that people make in the world, and how that affects your mood, how you carry on with the day. And I find other things to watch. I mean, there's
Yeah,
so I could there's so many examples. I mean, even articles about my favorite team and how just leave the poor buggers alone for now. Like, let them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all
yeah,
of that, and you try to find the goodness in it and the happiness in it, and eventually it's just like I'm gonna go find something that's complete fiction just to. So let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about changing your own patterns, your own path, your own.
I mean, it's such a good topic because this entire experience we live is about our own perception. So it's about the way we're viewing life, we're viewing external things that are coming in. And it's an interesting thing because it's asking a question of at what point do human beings become responsible or become accountable for how they are participating? And this type of life experience that we like to talk about, and certainly that we've written about, is it's not right or wrong. It's more of if you want to live a relatively happy experience, then what are you going to do to be able to achieve that goal? And again, I would challenge certainly people, reporters, people in politics, just I would challenge every human. What is the intention? Right? Like, what is the intention when we report on something that might be misleading? What is the intention? What prevents us from truly being able to speak the truth, for example? The challenge with that is again, we'll go back to the word perception. How people perceive something, what people believe is happening, creates the dynamic of which we then speak and take action from and do things from. So when we're watching the news and we hear something we don't like, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true or untrue. It means that what we perceive that to be right now is going against my current belief system. That's pretty valuable information to have. So, one of the things we can do as people is when we experience that, we don't need to realize that, have an awareness of that being a bad thing. When we understand that we've witnessed something that we don't like, tells us we want something different. It's screaming at us in the face because we feel it on a physiological level in the pit of our stomach, in our throat, in our minds are racing. And as we talk about quite a bit, it seems so natural for us to be able to point the finger at you when I don't feel good. And as you said, turning off the news, pretty good step in that. Because unless you're watching feel good type of news, right? Like,
Yeah.
unless you're deliberately searching for that information, because we thrive in conflict because that's what we're used to being in. That's been kind of the standard. And it's interesting because when we talk about, and we'll use your favorite team for now as an example, and the Edmonton Oilers, we can tell by the amazing fingers. Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers, who recently have not made it past the first round
Yeah.
in the NHL playoffs. Now, obviously, as a fan, myself included, we can't watch somebody lose a team we love and adore, we can't watch them lose and enjoy life and be having a great time in that moment. And that's a natural reaction, right? Like, that's a natural reaction of disappointment, of, "Oh, man, like, this sucks," and then you get the naysayers out there that now start to challenge, "Well, McDavid's gonna leave, and this is gonna happen, and that, and nobody wants to hear it," and not saying he should leave or shouldn't leave or whatever the case may be to any player. The point of that is we can't be looking at the loss, talking about the loss, and feel good in that current moment. So, how do we come out of that? How do we then, as humans, become responsible and accountable for how we're now going to participate over that same subject?
As you say, I'm so very very proud of them. Like, yeah, a loss truly sucks, and it's disappointing. But on the flip side of that, like you always say, they don't wake up every morning going, "Today I'm going to lose." It seems like the perfect day to, lose. And I reference that excuse me, back to myself. I don't wake up every morning going, I'm not I'm not going to do my best today. Sometimes your best isn't good enough, and it's how you deal with that, how you self-talk into, is it is it really a failure? But then there's something that you learn from that, right? Like,
Yeah, of
I I know the players all feel bad. I know they do. But
course.
the
Yes.
constant is when the other side of me, the, the constant barrage at them. Well, what didn't you do good? They didn't wake up every morning going, "Today I'm going to lose the first round." Like, that is not what they want. They want the
Exactly.
exact opposite of that. So just like give them a moment to breathe and to, anyways.
Well, I have a question for you about that, because what do you think causes you to become upset when other people are having those conversations?
I this isn't going to be politically correct, but honestly, it's some of the stupid questions they ask. Like right after a loss, some of the stupid, well, in my opinion, the stupid questions that
Yeah.
they ask. Like, I, they don't wake up every morning going, "I'm going to lose today." That's not their goal. That's not in their minds. Well, maybe I'm assuming. People make shit up in their heads like all the time. All the time. And their perception
Mhm.
of what they think should happen or what they think someone should say isn't reality.
But exactly that. Because we don't get to control what other people are saying or doing, the only control we have is how we're gonna respond to it. So for you and myself, for example, because you can speak on your behalf, I can speak on my behalf. I can't speak on your behalf because I don't know unless you've said it. But I want us to still be able to touch on what holds you, if you have an opinion that what they're asking is stupid or wrong or ill-timed, what is causing you to have that opinion?
I feel bad for them.
Aha, okay,
Yeah.
so
Like
you've
I feel bad for them. I truly believed third time's a charm. I I believed that with everything. I
mhm,
one of the fans they interviewed said it the best with the talk about, Alberta not changing their clocks back anymore, and then somebody going, yeah, well, how do you think it's going to affect you, watching an Oilers game if it's later? What we stay up till 11 midnight. If you count it, watching the after game shows and all that. We do that now, an extra hour, for the 10 months or 9 months that they play hockey. That's what we're going to do as fans. Is we're going to be there for our team no matter what it takes. Her answer was priceless. That it doesn't matter if it goes till midnight or 1 o'clock. We're going to be there to watch our team and cheer our team.
Yeah. And that wouldn't be every time anyway, because when
Right.
they're
Yeah.
playing in
Yeah.
Edmonton,
Yeah.
for example, they're on Edmonton time, right? It would affect when they're playing in Eastern Canada more than it would or Eastern US more than anywhere else that they're playing. But so you said something really important. You feel bad for them.
I do. It's heartbreaking. It's
But why?
because I know they wanted it so bad, right?
If we are looking at a loss, then we're the ones who don't feel good. If we feel bad the way somebody else is doing something and we feel bad on their behalf, we are the ones in the rabbit hole. And then that means we are also contributing to the rabbit hole. So it's more about being able to either change our own belief and perception about that same subject or do exactly what you said earlier, go do something else. Watch something else, pay attention to something else. But if we are using what someone else says or does as our reason to feel bad, then we are just simply playing in the rabbit hole. Again, not right or wrong. It's not. Humans, we can behave wherever we want to behave, but there are ripple effects to that. There are consequences to that participation. And what we forget a lot of the time as people is it's us experiencing the lack on someone else's behalf. Those guys could be partying up a storm. They're done.
Yeah.
They're going home to their families. They're appreciating how far they've come. They're looking forward to a new season. They're looking forward to changes they're going to make, a different way that they may participate next year. But the interesting thing is the more the fans are feeling bad on their behalf, the more difficult it is for them to feel better.
They
We
get some well-deserved rest now, right? I mean, they've played 288 games in the last 3 years. Like,
and are
seriously.
right, and are we suggesting that the Edmonton
Or
Oilers have
299 games. Yeah. Sorry.
right, and are
Yeah.
we suggesting that the Edmonton Oilers are the only team in the league with the only team that has really good players and the only team that can score goals? I mean, the NHL is stacked full of very, very talented players working together to be able to move on to the next round.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that before where if the fans in the background are contributing to the negative stream, is that really helpful to become winners?
Not so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're in the background, like dogging everybody and having complaints about the way they're playing and coaching and reffing, and if we're just out there doing that, and those folks get a hold of that at some point, oh, your fans over here think this and say this, and media is this and that. And do we think that they're immune to that type of thing? If a McDavid or a Draisaitl or any of those players or the coaching staff, if any of those players are, your fans are really thinking this and your fans are really blaming you for this. I mean, imagine internalizing that. Now, hopefully they have really good support and really good coaching staff as well that helps them see beyond the complaints. But I mean, if somebody was complaining about me every time I turned around and had negative opinions constantly of what I did or didn't do or how I was participating, and I listened to that, well, we probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
It would be
right.
really difficult to show
Yeah,
up for that. So it's really about what are we going to do to participate from well-being?
and to be able to change the perception, our own perception.
Our own perception's the
Yeah,
only one that matters, right?
yeah,
Not our job to change others' perceptions, that's
yeah,
entirely up to them. But when we come at it from a place of looking forward, from a place of support and understanding and knowing that this is just going to happen, this is a part of life, right? That there are several very, very good players and several teams who are in the top to be able to even be in a playoff position. I mean, to even get there, to
yeah,
achieve that goal is so big when you
yeah,
compare it to all of the teams in the league.
yeah,
So they still achieved something wonderful. Now, again, if I'm looking at the loss, it's a bummer. It's a true bummer. But hey, on to the next. What are we doing now? How are we going to support them now? Are you going to take down your Oilers flags and be done with them? And I
yeah,
mean, we don't need to do that.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and my initial reaction was, I mean, Montreal's my number two team, so I still have something wrong. But my initial reaction was, I don't care, like I don't want to watch it. But I love hockey, and I'm
Yeah.
passionate about it. And
Yeah.
you're right. There's still amazing players to watch. I I would be cheating myself to
Yeah.
not let my happiness and passion continue for I mean it's so good to watch, and yeah, you have moments of frustration and yelling at the TV and makes the dog leave the room, but we move on and we continue to do what makes us happy, which is
Yeah.
watching hockey. But
Well, and you said something really beautiful there because you said just in general that you love hockey,
yeah,
right?
I
So
agree.
the
Yeah,
sport in general, is something to appreciate, love, pay respect to, enjoy watching, so on and so forth. That is kind of the work is being able to change the perception. We don't just love the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, I'm like a Habs fan to the
yeah,
core,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Edmonton being my second team. It's not about the team necessarily now. It is in fact about the sport.
Oof, got goosies.
Me too,
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
right?
Yep, yep.
So when we ooh, yeah, so when we change that narrative like you did so perfectly a few seconds ago, we automatically start coming up the chain.
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah. That was a big
Wow.
clarity from you.
Yeah.
I
Huh.
mean,
Did it without even thinking.
well, so that's the
Yes.
beauty of well-being. When we're open and when the human being is open to hear a different perspective, well-being is going to provide you the answer. So that was your well-being speaking on your behalf to help you come to a new perspective.
Huh.
And did we maybe try to drill it home a little bit so you
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
understood that
For
that's what
sure.
you were
Yeah.
doing? Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
we
yeah.
did do that. But if we as humans simply paid attention a little bit more to that, well, I just really love hockey, then we take away the winner loss narrative around that. It's
Yeah.
participating, it's having teamwork, it's working with others to achieve a goal. It's not about winning or losing anymore from a broader perspective.
And it's funner. Is that a word? I'm making it a word. It's funner to watch than, the news sometimes. I mean, all the time. But yeah, it's
Right?
yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
let me ask you though now. So next time you feel yourself or witness a comment that makes you go, ugh, What are you going to do differently when you see that comment?
I think I need to focus more on finding the opposite of that comment.
Okay? Love it.
Yeah.
And what do you think is the best way for us humans to do that?
Oh man, tough questions. Jeebus.
Well, let me reframe.
Yeah.
What is the best way for you to do that?
I need to find the positive in that crappy comment. I mean, really. I
Okay.
and flip it to its I mean, we need to focus on the now. We need to Nobody can predict the future. We
Nope.
can only focus on the now and what's best for us now, potentially moving forward, right? So, oh, I had the words in my head and they just escaped me. But if I can turn that around and focus on the now moment, I think that'll be the easiest way to start. Yes?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
perfect. And so, because I think you were on the cusp for some
I
really big words there
couldn't
too,
get it.
which is okay. But so when we focus on the now moment, what do you think that really means for you? So we see a comment we don't like, we have a negative reaction to it. What is the now for you?
Needs to be unconditional and the exact opposite. So if it makes me go, ick, I want the opposite of that.
Which would be,
Depends on the comment. I mean, really, depends on the comment.
we're just saying it's a negative comment in general, negative comment in general. What would be the opposite emotional state to, ugh.
Yeah, the happiness and the you guys got this. You'll figure it out.
So let's narrow it down though to a sensation that you could feel versus a statement you're going to make. So
Oh, I see where we're going. Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. I'm kind of with you. All right. To get over the ick feeling, I'm going to go do
Mhm.
something else and walk away from that. That'll be the easiest for me for sure. Is just to stop reading it and and go do
Okay,
something
so
else.
you're talking about an action though. So
Oh, action.
tell me a word opposite of ick that could provide a sensation, a feeling for you.
Yeah, see, I'm really struggling with that.
So, okay, so we'll help. So
Yes.
if we feel ick, that
Yeah.
means we're down here in the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So what we're shooting for is a sensation to feel differently. And that can be anything above here. It can be satisfied. Okay, so I feel ick right now, but I know that I want my now to feel at least satisfied.
Okay.
I'm shooting for satisfaction, for peace of mind, for clarity, for curiosity, for understanding, for compassion. I'm
Gotcha.
shooting for empathy. Anything that is in the upper end of a sensation that we might be able to pick. Okay, ugh, I'm feeling ugh right now. What do I want to feel? Well, I want to feel better. I want to feel freedom, feel alive. And then being able from there, once we determine what one of the two of those words are, then we go take action to achieve it.
Empathy and gratitude. I think I would
Ooh.
go to those two first. Empathy, gratitude.
Okay, so now let's get
All
specific.
right.
In
Okay.
in order to experience empathy, what do we have to say or think or do?
You gave it your all, or they gave it their all.
Okay? What else?
They're going to learn from this and grow.
Learn and grow. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just about them,
Right.
right?
Right.
It certainly can
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm going to continue to support them. I mean,
Continue to support.
always. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, if we extended that to having gratitude, what else now could you add to be able to feel
Oh,
gratitude?
I got goosies thinking about it.
Oh,
Grateful
me
that I
too.
get to watch them. Grateful that I get to be a part of it in my tiny little 1 millionth percentile of of being able to watch them. I mean, we live in such a diverse
Yeah,
country, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that we live where we live
yeah,
and we get to watch what we get to watch, and that it's accessible for us to be able to watch
yeah.
what we're able to watch, and that it brings me happiness. I mean, I really it I mean it does, even after all the, you know, swearing and language at the TV and having to close the windows in, the spring, summer so that the neighbors don't. But you know what I mean? Overall, still grateful and lucky and blessed that we get to participate in something like that for sure. So, I mean that absolutely moved me up the chain. So, grateful for that too.
Amazing.
Yep, grateful for that
Amazing.
too. Yep.
And that's what it's about. The sooner we can recognize that we are playing around in the rabbit hole, and we know when that is by how we feel. Generally, there's not too many people, and myself included, where I all of a sudden just start hearing my own thoughts going, "Ooh, you're going to send yourself there." Generally, I've reached the feeling, the physical feeling within the body of, ugh, I don't feel good. I can feel myself snapping. I can feel myself wanting to point something. I can feel it. I may not necessarily have heard the words yet that I'm using in my head. It's that feeling we get in the body because our body is going to react 100% of the time. And it's going to react precisely to what's happening in here. So if in here is in frustration and oh my God, our face is going to show it. We're going to be slouched. We're going to pick fights with people. I think your opinion is dumb or stupid. That's the sensation we're going to have within the body, the need to defend. And we just can't be in defense and be having the best time in life.
I I want to bring it back around before we run out of time. That this is going to become my one of 6 things that is going to help me move up the chain step by step. And I'm very
Amazing.
grateful, speaking of gratitude, I'm very grateful that you are in my life experience. And I definitely feel better just from the top of when we started to now. And I'm sure that this will help a lot of people move them up from any loss or any frustration, that we can find a way to help ourselves.
Yeah.
So, if there's anything in this book that you want our listeners to zero in on, what would that be?
I'm going to say a couple of things. That well-being is with you always, rooting for you, wanting you to move up the chain when you don't feel good, supporting you and others, and will never waver from that. And that us as people, we are the most powerful people in our own experiences. And that we do have an ability to help ourselves navigate this experience by the way we conduct ourselves within it And that stems from our perceptions, the way we view the things around us. So if anybody gets even just a little bit of clarity as a result of that throughout that book, then it has achieved what I was hopeful that it would achieve.
Just a reminder for everyone, the satisfaction line is available now on Amazon. And if any of our listeners have any questions or comments, you'd like to leave them below. And hey, if you want to be a part of this podcast, you are welcome to also leave your email address below. So until next time, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everyone.